Before we get started on today's trip, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my amazing extended family that could not come on this flight due to COVID, unfortunately. With that said, we have a fantastic flight in store today. Today we'll be flying from Munich's Franz Josef Strauss International Airport over to my beautiful home in Los Angeles. Today we'll be flying on Lufthansa on their A350-900 in business class. After clearing passport control to enter the non-Schengen part of Terminal 2 here at Munich, it was off to the Lufthansa business class lounge. Now, I did have access to the Senator side due to my Star Alliance Gold status, but it was so absurdly crowded that it was not even worth the visit. The business class side is inferior but had less crowd. Given that this visit was just a few days before Christmas, that pretty much explains all the Christmas tree and other Christmas decor that's there throughout the lounge. Now, I'm gonna be kind when I say this, but this lounge was not very good. First of all, it was quite small for what you'd expect of Lufthansa's business class footprint here out of Munich, and especially for a non-Schengen lounge. Though I will say, I did like the fact that throughout the lounge there was water readily available for passengers. On the other hand, you also had a wide variety of all sorts of other alcoholic beverages like spirits, wines, beers, other hard alcohol, and even some hot drinks. Because quite frankly, after seeing the hot food options, I wouldn't blame you if you filled your stomach on beer and tequila. I present to you a gourmet selection of tasteless boiled eggs and another gourmet selection of tasteless boiled mushrooms. And along with a couple cold cuts and fruits, that pretty much sums up all the food selection in this lounge. Thankfully, the onboard food was much better, and we'll have a much better look at that later on. Now, after finding every excuse possible to leave this lounge early, here's a good one. Our flight was departing for the US, therefore we had to go all the way to the L gates. That involves taking a long walkway and a train over, and followed by an extra security check. There was a separate lane for first class and business class passengers, but this was an extra passport verification and security checkpoint for US bound flights. And here's a look at the beautiful A350-900 taking us to LA. Now, because of that security check, I'm now in a part of the terminal where the only flights around me are heading to LA, San Francisco, Miami, Denver, and a couple other US cities. But while waiting for boarding to start, why not appreciate other air traffic views such as this beautiful Singapore A350 along with a bunch of other tiny Lufthansa and Swiss planes. Boarding finally began with Group 1, which is for Lufthansa's first class passengers, Han Circle members, Senator travelers, and Star Alliance Gold members. But because there is no first class on this plane, then it's only for Star Alliance Gold members, Han Circle members, and Senator status travelers. No matter how many times I fly, I still need pictures of each plane, so here's a clip of me acting like a child as I try to take pictures.
Board or picture?
I need a picture. I need a picture first. Alright, now let's go. Now that I'm finished with my childish theatrics, let's actually get on board and enjoy this flight.
Hello.
Hi, you know where you're going to?
Yeah. Hi.
Hello. Good, how about you? Now, a quick note on the seat. The seat itself was quite comfortable, but I will say that if you are traveling by yourself, this has to be one of the worst business class seats you could sit in. There's zero privacy between you and your neighbor, and you guys are even angled in towards each other. So unless you know your neighbor, be ready for some unwanted intimacy. Now, looking more closely at the actual seat features, there was an intuitive pair of seat controls, power ports for both passengers so you wouldn't have to interfere with each other. There was also plenty of storage space for books and laptops and phones. There was also a super large screen which could be turned your way and adjusted. There was also a footrest where you could store your feet throughout the flight, a kind of case which had all the bedding material for the flight, and of course, adjustable armrests, and the best feature of this seat, this amazing wing view. With that said, enjoy the sounds of the flight. We'll be back shortly around mealtime.
costs of flights. This provides all of us on board with additional. Thank you for your cooperation.
11. آسف 11 ونص. لا كويس. هذه أحسن من لا لو حطيتك على 787.
Dear guests, as you are on a flight to the United States, please remember that standing in groups in the aisles around lavatories and galleys is not permitted. Thank you.
خليها بس تحط في 787 وتبعتلك التذكرة وتتأكدي بس
Meine
كده
Damen und
احنا
Herren,
كلنا
wir
محتاجين
möchten Sie
ندفع مع
bitten, sich
بعض.
mit den Sicherheitsvorkehrungen vertraut zu machen. Vielen Dank.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we show you the safety features on board. We appreciate your attention.
Welcome back everybody, and now let's have a look at the amazing meal service we had in store for today's flight. For my main course, I had the cod wrapped in smoked salmon with stewed leek and Venus rice. There was also a warm bread and butter given with the meal, and for my appetizer, I had the marinated black Angus beef, mango, and celery salad, asparagus, and cranberry. As for my seatmate, he decided to have the traditional roast goose with red cabbage and potato dumplings, and for his appetizer, he had the spiced salmon with avocado and parsley mousse and tomato and herb oil. In my opinion, everything was presented really well. As you can see, everything was really detail oriented. I had already had a glass of wine in front of me, but because I had not had Riesling yet, she decided to get me a new glass to not mix up tastes. To start, I decided to have the roast beef, and along with the cranberry and the mango, the beef itself was really nice and tasty. It was a cold appetizer and it was fresh and enjoyable. The salmon appetizer was also quite good and went really well with the avocado butter. The fish main was quite good on many different levels. The sauce went really well with the fish was cooked quite well for an airplane fish, and the rice was also tasty. The sauce was flavorful but not too salty, and the leeks were really good as well. The roast goose main was also quite tender and tasty to have. All in all, both of these main dishes were really tasty, and I would definitely enjoy them again at any time. And finally, we have the last course, which could have been a meal of its own. We have chocolate ice cream with brownie for dessert, along with a plate of cheese, which has a good variety that will go into further detail, a box of truffles and some crackers, and of course, a glass of port wine. This ice cream was really good, but the menu described it as ice cream specialty prepared according to Italian tradition. I think the Italians might have something to say about that one. Now the cheese plate was fantastic. We had a Langenwil country cheese, a Montagolo blue cheese, and a French goat cheese along with grapes and a date sesame honey chutney, which was really good.
done. Around 40 minutes until the landing in Los Angeles. Presently on the right hand side a beautiful view over the city of Las Vegas. And we're proceeding now southwesterly heading towards Los Angeles.